Soon, my wife and I will be celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary. Looking at us now, we seem like a perfectly compatible couple, but I doubt our younger selves ever imagined we'd be living this life. Tonight, as we sat on the porch feeling the evening breeze, my wife and I took a trip down memory lane, reminiscing about the good old days. My name's Mike. I work for a major corporation and currently hold the position of a supervisor. These days, we're living a stable life, but I think my younger self struggled quite a bit. I did go to college, but after finishing high school, I worked part-time jobs for 2 years. I made the choice to start college 2 years later than most of my peers. The reason was that during my senior year of high school, right when I was about to apply for colleges, my mom fell seriously ill. She was hospitalized. With my dad swamped at work, I took on the responsibility of visiting her every day. I knew it was a crucial time for me, but I just wanted to be by my mom's side. My dad kept telling me that I should prioritize my future and take the entrance exams, but considering how old my mom was, I just didn't have the heart for it. Not wanting to have any regrets, I chose to be with my mom over taking the exams. A year later, after a hard battle, my mom passed away. Because of that, I'm grateful that I chose to be by her side despite my dad's objections. Back in my senior year, only my teachers knew about my mom's hospitalization and how I felt. I didn't want to burden or draw attention from my classmates, so I kept it quiet. But I guess someone noticed based on how I acted. One day, a girl in my class asked, "You're not going to take the entrance exams." Her name was Lily. She was one of the top students in our class, always competing for the #1 spot. In a word, she was super competitive. She especially hated losing to boys and always tried to outdo them, whether in academics or sports. Because of this, she often acted superior towards boys, and none of the boys could really stand up to her in an argument. "Haven't you been studying lately? Is that why you skipped the test the other day? If you get low scores now, people will laugh at you. So you ran away, right?" Lily said with a smirk. Sure, I missed the test that day, but it was because my mom had surgery, and I took the day off to be with her. I hadn't told anyone in class about that, and I wasn't planning to. I brushed off Lily with a laugh, but she wasn't the type to let it go. "Your grades are dropping too, so are you gonna work right out of high school? These days, a guy not going to college. I can't understand how we're thinking about your future," Lily said with disdain. Looking back, she was pretty harsh, but at the time, I didn't really care about what she said. After that, I never really spoke to Lily again until the class reunion after graduation. The reunion took place in a large restaurant. I wasn't excited about it because of my mom's situation, but I thought it would be the last time I'd see everyone, so I joined in. But I mostly just stood in a corner, sipping juice and watching everyone have fun. Then, Lily appeared in front of me. "You look so bored, but I guess that's to be expected. After all, you're just a high school grad, a loser." Lily, by the way, had gotten into a prestigious university. "I doubt we'll meet again, but I don't want to talk to losers. Don't ever talk to me again," she said, still acting all high and mighty, and left. Ironically, that girl from my class, Lily, is now my wife. We were like oil and water, two people who just couldn't get along. She went to a university far from home, and I thought I'd never see her again. But I ran into her at the most unexpected place. At a traditional hotel during a company trip. It wasn't like we both happened to be sightseeing. We met in an old bar inside the hotel. After high school, Lily went to a renowned university, and I spent a year working a night shift and taking care of my ailing mom. After she passed away, I decided to go to college and focused on studying. I got into a decent college, but not top tier. In college, I worked my butt off. Maybe it was luck, but I managed to get a job at a big company. The company had great benefits, including an annual company trip. That year, we stayed at a traditional hotel with spa. The evening was bustling as the company rented out a banquet hall. Back then, you couldn't refuse your boss, so when the main party ended and they were gearing up for an after party, I had no choice. "You guys coming too, right?" When the boss asked like that, I just had to go along. Inside the hotel, there was a bar. My drunk boss and about 10 colleagues, including me and 4 other younger employees, went there. I wasn't excited about it at all, but thanks to the larger group with the boss getting into it, we were able to split between a large booth and a smaller one, and us younger folks got to sit together, which was a relief. The bar had a lady running it, another female employee, and a bartender. Maybe they weren't used to serving such a large group, but we seemed to have caught them off guard. Mostly, the lady and the other woman were bustling around the booth where the bosses sat. Us younger ones just sipped our drinks and tried to kill time, occasionally chiming in with the boss's karaoke. After a while, the female employee came over and asked, "What would you like for your next drink?" "Beer," I replied, and I glanced at her. When our eyes met, we both froze. "Wait, Mike. Lily." I hadn't recognized her with her makeup, but it was Lily from back in the day. "Why are you here?" I asked in surprise, but before we could chat, she was called over by the lady running the bar. "Sorry, I'll be back," Lily said as she walked away. Man, that was unexpected. When I faced forward, I found my colleagues staring at me. "Oh, yay, that surprised me. She was in my high school class," I explained. They responded with "really," but bombarded me with questions like, "Is she your ex, or did you have a crush on her?" While I cleared up the misunderstandings, I couldn't deny my heart skipped a beat. I was definitely taken aback by the unexpected reunion, but Lily looked even more beautiful, maybe because of the elegant dress she wore. The moment our eyes met, my heart raced. After about an hour and a half, the bosses, who had had too much to drink, said, "We're gonna hit the hay," and that's when the after party finally wrapped up. As everyone was heading back to their rooms, I told them I'd stay behind to catch up with my old classmate. "Sorry I couldn't really talk earlier. I had to attend to the other tables, but I can't believe we ran into each other here. I'm kind of embarrassed for you to see me like this," Lily said, smiling awkwardly. "But I heard you're working for a big company now, Mike. Didn't you start working right after high school? How did you land a job at such a big firm?" I told her about the time when my mom fell ill during my college application period, how I did part-time jobs after high school, went to college later, and finally got my current job. She seemed genuinely surprised, maybe because I didn't show any signs of these events back then. Curious, I asked, "Weren't you the one who went to a top university? I hope this doesn't sound rude, but why are you working in a bar like this?" Her face clouded as she replied, "Well, it's a long story." Realizing I might have overstepped, I didn't press further. Just then, the owner told Lily, "You can leave for the night." She hinted at letting us enjoy our reunion, reminding Lily to lock up before leaving. With no one else around, Lily seemed a bit hesitant but began, "You never know what life will throw at you." She said she joined a major company after graduating from a prestigious university. Everything was smooth sailing for the first month. But then, something unexpected happened. Lily was pretty back then, but I knew she wasn't the type to seek attention. But rumors spread that there was a cute new hire, and the male colleagues began to fawn over her. However, a senior coworker in charge of training didn't take kindly to that and seemed to be jealous of Lily. Even though she was just trying her best at work, that trainer told her, "You need to stop getting so full of yourself," and suddenly, she stopped receiving any support regarding her training. The same trainer used to be the center of attention because of her looks, and she probably didn't like that suddenly everyone was interested in Lily. Despite not getting any guidance, Lily tried her hardest to do what she could. But one day, there was a mistake in a task she was paired with that trainer on. Even though it was a task the trainer had done, and it was 100% her mistake, it was pinned on Lily. Being scolded by the boss and asked for an explanation, the trainer began crying and saying, "It's due to my inadequate guidance. I'm sorry. No matter how many times I told her, she just wouldn't do it right. But I swear I try my best to teach her." Lily, knowing it wasn't her fault, kept her mouth shut and could only tremble. When the boss asked Lily if she had anything to say, all she could muster was, "It was my mistake. I'm sorry." Later, the trainer warned her, "If you spill the beans, I won't forgive you," and continued to be hard on her. Because of the trainer's manipulation, Lily started getting labeled as inept by others. Both mentally and physically exhausted, Lily eventually resigned. She tried to get a job at a large company again, but her past trauma resurfaced during interviews and tests, making her unfit for office work. With student loans to repay and knowing she couldn't be unemployed, she took up nighttime jobs. She had been moving from one job to another due to health issues, but finally settled at a snack bar in the hotel. "After all that big talk, look where I ended up," she said, laughing, trying to break the somber mood. I played along and jokingly asked, "Did you realize you were so full of yourself?" Lily laughed heartily and said, "That was the only way I could hold myself together back then. I was so naive," looking back with a wry smile. Once your spirit breaks, it's hard to live strong. Though she looked a bit sad, she said she's still enjoying her life. The night I met with Lily, we ended with, "See ya, take care." We didn't exchange contact details, and it was just a nostalgic reunion that night. Lily lived near the hotel, and I thought I'd never see her again. Yet, 3 years later, I unexpectedly ran into her. And in the most unexpected of places. That day, I had a business meeting with a client, and I was informed that we'd be working with a new representative. When I saw the new representative's face, my eyes widened. "It's Lily. Nice to meet you again. It's been a while, Mike." Wait, is Lily our new rep? It was surprising enough to work with a former classmate, but even more shocking to find out that she's working in the corporate world now. I accidentally raised my voice in surprise. Apparently, after our chat that night at the bar, the encouragement I gave Lily led her to try and find employment once more. She had deeply regretted quitting her previous job without fully utilizing her skills. Seems her fresh start was going well, as her predecessor had also praised her for her competence. She had looked beautiful that night at the bar, all dressed up and glowing, but now she shone with a natural radiance and a genuine smile. Seeing Lily enjoy her work made me happy. After our meeting, we exchanged contact details. She invited me out for drinks whenever I was free. And so, we found a convenient day to have dinner together. While the joy of our reunion was fresh, we naturally drifted into talking about work. How about doing it this way? Wouldn't this be a better approach? We got really passionate about the topic. No way, it definitely should be like this. Well, I think this way is much more efficient. It has to be this way. Neither of us would back down. But then, memories from our high school days made us burst out laughing. "Lily, you really haven't changed." "Hey, neither have you." We shared a good laugh. Suddenly, I remembered we were in a restaurant. With delicious food and drinks in front of us, we decided to drop the work talk and just chat while enjoying our meal. "Seriously, I'm really grateful to you." "What did I do? Don't you remember? You didn't judge me for my night job back then, and instead, you genuinely listened to my story. You told me that one setback doesn't define me, and if I believed I could still achieve more, I should trust myself and try again." I vaguely remembered, but playfully said, "Did I really say something that wise?" You also told me that if my second attempt failed, I could come to you for help. It was really encouraging and meant a lot to me, but even though you said that, you never left me your number, so I couldn't even update you on my new job." Lily said with a playful pout, followed by a laugh. So when I heard there was a shift in representatives and saw your name as one of our clients, I asked to be in charge. I was shocked to know your company was our client, and even more surprised to know you were the one representing them. I'm glad I got to see you again. Thanks for everything back then. I'm really enjoying my work now. That's good to hear. I responded briefly, trying to hide my smile, and took a sip of my drink to distract myself. When I looked at Lily, her cheeks were flushed from the alcohol, her eyes sparkled, and I suddenly felt my heart race. What are you staring at? Are you drunk? Yeah, maybe a bit. I tried to cover up my flustered state. This isn't the time. Just as I thought that, Lily mentioned it was getting late, and since we both had work tomorrow, we decided to call it a night. Then let's grab a taxi to go home. As I was about to look for a taxi, Lily said, "Hey, wait a moment," pulling my arm. "Don't you want to know when we'll meet next, or if I'm free tomorrow?" Taken aback by Lily, who looked slightly upset. I tried to remain cool, replying indifferently, "Really? You always act so clueless. Can't you see it's written all over your face? You're so dense," she exclaimed, hitting me lightly with her purse. Thinking she'd caught onto something, I didn't want to give anything away just yet. "No, I'm just a bit tipsy right now." "Oh, there's a taxi." Just as I tried to change the topic, a taxi drove by. Lily and I hopped in, deciding I'd drop her off at her place first. Inside the quiet car, I glanced over to see Lily resting her head on her hand, looking out the window. Her slightly sad reflection appeared on the window. I discreetly took out my phone and texted her, "I'll contact you again. Let's meet up when I'm not tipsy." Noticing she'd seen the message, I gently took her hand. While still looking outside, she squeezed my hand in return. Seeing the smile on Lily's face reflected in the window, I squeezed her hand tightly. The next day, I contacted Lily. We scheduled a date for that week, and that day, I confessed my feelings to her. From that day, our romantic relationship began. And after a while, "Mike, I'm sorry for calling you a loser without a college degree a long time ago. I hadn't properly apologized for that yet." "It's okay, we've both been through a lot," I replied, but a mischievous thought entered my mind. Maybe I won't forgive you after all. As an apology, promise you'll always stay by my side." "Oh, come on. Whose line is that?" "Well, if I'm by your side, then we're definitely winners in life. Always with the jokes. But seriously, if we're still together as an old couple, then we've definitely won at life, right?" "Wait, is that a proposal?" I had tried to tease her, but it backfired on me. Yet, it was still a happy moment. Building on these little happy moments, this year marks our 20th wedding anniversary. Now, we live happily with our middle school daughter and high school son. Our kids said that mom and dad really get along, don't they? Which brings back memories. Today, we reminisced about old times while having a drink on the porch. Feeling like a winner now, of course, with you by my side. Promise we'll be together, even as an old couple. Yeah, of course. I extended my hand, palm up, and my wife gently placed her hand atop mine. It feels like it's been so long since we did this that it's a bit embarrassing. I squeezed her hand tighter in response.